Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. My name is Yadira. Today we're going to be getting ready together. We're actually going to do this exact look and then we're going to go over the unboxings and having such a world of a chat about so many different topics ranging from social media to luxury and beauty. If you have any questions, please do let me know what that is down below at any point. If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Grab a beverage or your favorite snack and I hope you enjoy. Also, too, don't mind my manicure. One of the unboxings that I'm going to do is going to be so fitting, but it is shipping and gross, so I am going to take that off. I do have my nail stripper from Deborah Lippmann. One of the topics I wanted to talk about was yearly sales. So some of the sales that do get a lot of coverage here on YouTube, at least in the beauty space, is the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, the Sephora sales, as well as like even the Nordstrom anniversary sale that happens every summer. And also some other brands do also do sales, kind of like Macy's. They have an annual beauty savings event that is 15% off like all of their beauty items, essentially. A lot of friends and families too. So what I really wanted to get with all of that is, do you feel the sense of needing to purchase more than you otherwise would have, or are you just kind of pushed to go into those stores because a lot of people on YouTube cover them? And also too, on that same topic, like whenever it comes to beauty, don't ever buy it full price, at least, and that is my take, unless you are doing like some kind of review where you do want to be first to market to kind of showcase your review on it, and that obviously does get a lot of views and traction here on YouTube whenever an item or a product is new. There's a lot of brand collaborations and a lot of YouTubers probably get the product for free that you would otherwise have to go buy with your hard-earned money as opposed to them getting it for free. I do like shopping the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty because it does offer some great discounts at 50% off. So if you do have any favorites that you love to buy and they are showcased during the sale, that is a great opportunity to get those products, and that's something that I do like to do. Also try new items as well. If you're not too picky, that's one of the ways to save some money. But whenever it comes to, like, for example, Sephora, where it's only 10% if you are just a beauty insider, at least where I live, is not enough discount. Pretty much it's like a tax-free for makeup, if you will, because of the taxes that are factored in. Now, if you are a VIB Rouge where you do get that 20% discount, then it is more worth it. I guess all in all, if you are shopping for makeup and hair items, I would say never ever buy them full price unless there is a product that's like a cult favorite that almost never goes on sale that you deem worthy of splurging on. Then of course do get that. Also, whenever it comes to clothing, for example, the Nordstrom anniversary sale, actually, before I talk about clothing, on the Nordstrom anniversary sale, they'll do some beauty exclusive kits, and that the sale itself is marketed to where you're only gonna have this price for I want to say it's like a month and a half before it goes up in price, and that is new items that are coming in for the season as opposed to clearing out the stocks for out of season items. That is what the Nordstrom anniversary sale is targeted towards. But whenever it comes to the beauty in that anniversary sale, what I have found is that even after the sale has closed, the beauty items are the same price. Some of the items that I like to get from the Nordstrom anniversary sale is any of the Charlie Tilbury sets, and those I feel are a great value. But here's the thing, unless it's something that's very popular that you don't want it to sell out, yes, get it ahead in the sale, but really and truly after the sale is over, it's still going to be that same price. So just kind of heads up on that. If you don't necessarily have the money to go out and buy it within the days of the sale, just know that after the sale, the beauty will still be that same price, and that is advertised during the sale days. Whenever it does come to the shoes and clothes and home style of items that are featured during the sale, those do actually go up after the sale is over. I feel like there's a lot of hype around the anniversary sale. A lot of people do cover the beauty aspect of it, so just don't be pressured to buy if you are not ready at the time that your tier does open during those sales. So I try to get most of my clothing on a good sale, whether that is like 40, 50, 60, 70% off. Those are pretty much the discounts that I tend to get. If it's full price, unless I really love the item and I love the fits and I know I'm gonna wear it, I will get it full price. Or if it's like that I know hardly ever goes on sale, then I would actually buy it full price. But whenever it comes to clothing, I don't really buy it on the full price that is on the sticker. I wait for it to be on sale. Two, what I find is that by the time it does go on sale, I may not even be interested in the item anymore the way I thought I was. Now, the bad side about that is that you're not really gonna ever be on trend, because being on trend means you have to buy it full price. So that's kind of the downside. But of course, with fashion, you can always mix and match anything from your closet to bring it up to date, or just kind of be a little bit more relevant in your fashion if that's something that is important to you. I actually don't personally mind, so that is why I tend to shop everything pretty much on sale. And then that leads me to the luxury space. So that is how I would personally say that if you're wondering how to actually advance or increase your luxury collection, is don't really spend too much on those other items. In that way, it'll give you a little bit of more wiggle room or more funds to put towards any luxury goods that you are interested in. I actually wanted to do it alongside of doing my makeup, but with all the cardboard, I think it's just better not to. First off, some of these samples, I got this Suwasu, a little moisturizer, and then also a concealer sample from Makeup Forever. This is their matte velvet skin, and there is 4 different shades in here. And then I only got one product. So Sephora was doing like a care event, and I got the Bumble&Bumble post-workout dry shampoo. I have not tried this before. Would love to give it a try to see how it is that it does work with sweaty hair. I know it's kind of gross, but the only dry shampoo formula that I have tried before are the ones that come in the aerosol cans, you know, the ones that are probably very toxic for you. So I wanted to give this one a try because it was on sale, and the post-workout dry shampoo name really did grab my attention. I am not gonna lie on that one. I'm hoping this is gonna work out and probably even replace an actual dry shampoo in the traditional formula. So the Bumble&Bumble post-workout dry shampoo mist. I know I'm kind of just jumping all over the place here, but I'm going to start with my primer. This is by Mira. This is the Invisiblur Perfecting Shield. I actually haven't used this in some time, and I've had it for a while. I'm just going to press this onto my skin. So YouTube has really influenced me over the years. I can do a whole separate video as to who in particular, but right now at the moment it's kind of like Instagram. I don't have a TikTok, but if I did, I'm sure TikTok will sway me into buying so many things that I probably don't need. But yeah, right now it's Instagram, and I find that it's kind of like a Ariana Grande sort of moments where, you know, I see it, I like it, I want it, I bought it, from like her 7 Rings song, if you're familiar with that one, which is very catchy. I'm gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury color corrector. This is in the shade medium or number 2, and then also the brush by It Cosmetics, and this is their Flawless Complexion brush. I'm gonna use the Precision End, which is a small one. Where I find that Instagram really influences me, or just a lot of people, is that you want to buy everything. You want to like either look as good as the person that you are following, whether it's actual fashion or even something like fitness, to where you want the pre-workouts or even like the actual workout outfits, or the, you know, tools and other stuff that you might need to actually perform the workout, or going back to fashion to where you want to have, you know, the latest it bag, the latest heels, or, you know, some of the heels that really do come to mind whenever I'm speaking about this is the Amina Muaddi heels, which are very beautiful. I personally don't have a pair because I'm not that type of person who wears heels just about anywhere. If I was, I probably would, and I do really like the way that a lot of people do really try to incorporate, you know, heels or just like very chic style of outfits on their everyday. I am very much more relaxed and more casual, to where I don't think I can actually pull it off on an everyday basis. And then too, I work from home, so there's not much need for me in particular to have all of these things. But anyways, I did want to say that you do work hard, and you are very much so entitled to buy and purchase whatever it is that you want at any time. You know, do splurge yourself. But where I do think that it becomes dangerous is whenever we're just collecting just to collect, or to be in style and in fashion, or along with collecting, there's clutter that for some people might be a stress trigger or might cause anxiety. And then too, financial wise, where it's just too much, or it's very much so distracting your mind to the point where you're just unwell thinking about, you know, money, or what are you gonna do with all of these things. And even if you donate, you know that you paid X amount for whatever it is that you're wanting going to donate, so then you kind of want to sell it. Like it's this debate, right? So it does really create this overconsumption, in my opinion. It does really look beautiful and whatnot on Instagram and in photos and for the moment. I'm gonna take my Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation in the shade 20N, and then I'm also going to mix in my Dior Forever foundation in the shade 3N. Well, I'm not even gonna mix in, I'm just gonna put some in the brush, just a little bit, like about half a pump. So that is what I have in my brush. This is the newest brush that I added to my collection, the Hourglass foundation brush. Are these influencers really using all of these things outside of that one post or that one reel or that one story where they are mentioning it or showing it? Even like me, like if I'm just showing you this foundation for the first time and like, oh my god, like one, is it really oh my god? And then two, have you used it more than just that one time that you're showing it? You know, there's a lot of influencers that are like very spare of the moment, and I get it, they are doing a job or they're getting paid, but for the people who work hard for that, we're obviously not getting paid. So Instagram, I feel like really does influence a lot of people, and not so much in a good way, but in this fantasy life that we kind of aspire to have. And then it's like, do we really need it? Do we all really need to look like we're ballers? I mean, like if we talk about celebrities, the Kardashians come to mind, where I feel like they were pretty much influencers and they started everything kind of, but don't really want to give them a whole lot of credit, because I feel like for me personally, YouTube was what made me be more influenced to buy things rather than wanting to dress or look like the Kardashians at that time. It could be just the money level to where the things that I was watching on YouTube were easier to attain rather than like vacations or, you know, so much clothes and so many fancy things that the Kardashians were promoting in their show. But essentially that's kind of where it started, I feel like. I mean, there's definitely a lot of pretty around the world, but it really does come down to being honest with yourself. And do you need it? Do you want it because you want it, or do you want it because your social circle wants it? It really just depends. And I feel like influencing in that whole aspect of a profession really does dictate how we see certain things. I actually started my YouTube channel with makeup, and what I found was I had all this makeup that I was collecting, and one, the ingredients expire obviously, and then two, makeup really, it could be high and low. And it's not to say that I had this huge collection, but at the end there was a lot of items that I did have to throw away because I really wasn't reaching for them. They were just pretty much there, just collecting dust and clutter. So I can just imagine everything that all of these influencers get for free and having to use all of that up. I obviously, whenever I started YouTube, I didn't have a job, so I couldn't really buy everything, and I also didn't want to, you know, get a credit card and do it that way. I'm gonna take my Vanish Concealer by Hourglass. This is in the color Cotton. I'm just gonna take the doe foot applicator and apply straight to my under eye. I didn't want to do that because obviously I didn't want to get into depth over wanting to do a YouTube career, and at that time it was fun to watch. You were inspired by these people, so you kind of wanted to be like them. It was easier to fall into the whole create your channel and start kind of thing. And at that time I was actually monetized. Along the years, YouTube changed a lot of the rules to where now I'm not, even though I was at some point. I could just imagine like if I would have never stopped or paused as long as I did, like where would I be with YouTube, and where would I stand at a personal level? Like would I be who I am still? Because I do kind of feel that some careers might change people, and not necessarily for the better, but in the more less relevant or less attainable way, if that makes any sense. I personally don't think so. If you ever watched A Makeup Geek or Marlena Stell, she actually talked about the topic of how whenever she was in her highest, people just kind of used her. That's another danger as well, right? Like, are you going to be genuinely pursued for your personality or just for what X, Y, and Z can gain from you? This concealer is definitely too light. I do have another concealer. This is by Hourglass. This is actually a foundation. I have it in the color Shell, so I'm just gonna put it right under and see if I can blend those two colors together. In my early stages of my YouTube life, I want to say, I found myself like obsessing over wanting to collect makeup in particular. So like Revlon lipsticks, I had a whole bunch of those, and now in present day I have a whole bunch of MAC and also Charlotte Tilbury, which each Charlotte Tilbury lipstick is literally like $40. I have definitely advanced to the more expensive side of makeup nowadays compared to my younger self. I mean, I definitely still love beauty, and obviously I'm doing this style of video with you. It's just more in a different age or stage of my life compared to my younger self. The evolution of me, I guess, if you want to see how I was back in the day. Obviously there's videos up in my channel where you can kind of reference to kind of see who I was at the time. I don't really think I have changed too much, just the sole fact that now I have a job, to where else whenever I started I didn't. I actually can buy a lot more expensive things now compared to whenever I first started. Whenever I did stop YouTube and I came to the realization of how much I actually consumed during that time that I was no longer using and I had to get rid of because of expiration days. So things like that did kind of humble me, and I did a makeup declutter last year or the year before, and that collection was pretty much simplified and down to what it is that I use on a day-to-day basis and a little bit of extras, but definitely not at the level that I used to be whenever I was actively doing YouTube. So it really does change you, and it gives you like a perspective of, do you really need it? So that's kind of why, or how I have my mindset now, is to where spend money wisely or on things that you really do like and enjoy. Like for me, I like to spend my extra money on handbags and luxury goods, but at the same time, for example, a belt, it is $600. Like that could be someone's car payment, that can be someone's light bill plus groceries plus cell phone bill. I do understand that, but still, just like you or just like the everyday person, I too fall into temptation as well. What I have found lately, at least you might be able to tell too, is I've purchased a lot more makeup in this year in particular compared to previous years. So I do need to actually listen to myself too and understand that I only have one face and that I can only use so much product at a given time or during a given time frame before it expires. So even with that, I do need to slow down with my makeup purchases. So this kind of ties back to the whole sale stuff, to where I'm gonna try not to buy any more makeup but use what I currently have, because of one, I do have a very nice makeup collection that I wear, not so much for like the masses or for the whole makeup collection style videos, in the sense to where it is a comfortable level for me to use, and I like that. I like that I can say I've worn pretty much everything within my collection. There is very few things within it and that are brand new, and even that, like I'm incorporating the new stuff that I had gotten in the recent weeks. So I want to applaud myself for that too. Right, so for my setting powder, I'm using the Kosas Breezy Cloud Set powder. I'm going to take a mini sponge and just kind of rub all over it. I'm actually not really liking the way this looks underneath my eyes, but I don't really have a under eye setting powder anymore. Like I used it up. So if you have a good one that you want to recommend, please let me know what is your favorite or what are you using right now. And come back with my precision brush, and I have some creasing going on. But yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of using what it is that I have purchased in the last weeks as well. Also, it's raining very much. That kind of gives like a relaxing vibe. At least I feel like whenever it rains, it's just like a chill day kind of situation. And then to be transparent, I'm not really going anywhere, and it's not even early. It's 6 p.m. Definitely just getting ready for myself, just to kind of be a little bit more motivated, I guess you can say. So on the weekends, I usually just clean my house, do laundry, and all those normal people things. And quite honestly, I would love to do more videos, upload much sooner, to where I'm very much relevant with the topics. Like currently, some of the hot topics that are going around YouTube is like new money versus versus old money, and also whole topic of subtle luxury, which honestly I'm not even gonna talk about. It just feels like clickbaity, if you will. I'm not gonna jump on that train. It's not like the topic just came out, so at this point I would just sound like maybe someone trying to capitalize off of it. I'm going to stay away from that topic. What I will say about it is that some people were saying like, I'm tired of this, like I don't want to hear this anymore. But here's the thing, you only hear it because that's what you're watching. Similar to like handbags, like,
oh, everyone has a Speedy.
no, not everyone has a Speedy. There's a lot of people too where handbags are not their cup of tea, where they rather just collect shoes or cars or coins, other things. But because your immediate circle is probably related to handbags, and that is what you're seeing the most, and that's kind of like what's on your For You page, if you will. And it seems like you see it over and over, and it almost seems like it's everywhere, and not everyone really does fall into that category. But I promise you, it is not everybody. Luxury is not affordable like that to where everyone can have a Speedy. Just keep that in mind. Let's talk about Instagram one more time. Luxury travel in 2021 really took off, and a lot of people were still kind of scared of traveling, and then there were still some restrictions in various different countries. But for some reason I saw so much luxury travel around that time. Like, I get that we probably were saving money because of lockdown, so a lot of people did have extra income to spend on beautiful vacations. I was seeing so much, like so close to actual lockdown, to where I'm like, well, aren't we like on house arrest? I mean, at least that's what it kind of felt during some period where I was seeing a lot of those reels and stories and pictures of people going out and about, which in a way I guess I can say I was like jealous, because everything did seem very beautiful and dreamy and whatnot. And I get it, we all do need to go out on vacations and kind of just unwind, de-stress, but personally my vacations are not relaxing. Like, I want to do and see just about everything. You walk so much more during your vacations, at least mine, I'm just speaking from my experience. It's not at all that relaxing. Yeah, you do get to tour places that you've never been to ever before, or that you probably would never get the opportunity to go to ever again. So that is an aspect of travel that I do love and enjoy, but it's not that relaxing. I'm more of an adventure girl, to where if I go somewhere that I've never been, I'm very conscious of the fact that it was expensive to get there, that it won't be my every summer destination. So I want to get the most that I can while I'm there. Definitely a me problem, not necessarily an everyone problem, but I mean, they're so fun, but you wake up so early to try to get the most out of your day, and it's a little bit exhausting, to be quite honest, but very fun to just not be in the everyday, have a little bit of a mental distraction. On that same note, whenever you're prepping for a vacation, do you actually buy new clothes every single time, or do you just kind of recycle some outfits that you've had, maybe just get a shirt or two and then use some jeans or shorts that you already had within your collection? Like, what's your style? Me personally, before a vacation, almost everything that I wear has to be new. Doesn't have to be, but you kind of just gets you in the mood of vacationing whenever there's something new in your collection that you're just kind of excited about. So that's kind of what I do. Then I was kind of thinking about it, like, if you are someone who travels for life, or you spend a grand majority of your year traveling, you're probably not buying new things every single time you're going to a different destination. If you're an expert traveler or have traveled to many different areas, kind of give me your feedback. How do you prepare? What do you do whenever you are going to your vacation, at your actual vacation, when you're going from one destination to another in such a short amount of time? Like, what is your great tips on that? Taking my MAC Prep and Prime, this is the lip version. Going back to that traveling while in house arrest, what I do feel that it created was a lot of debt, probably. I mean, at that point in time, in America at least, getting stimulus checks, especially if you did have kids, each child was getting some kind of monthly payments. I feel like it probably kind of put some people, not all, in a habit of spending more money than what they were actually used to getting on a monthly basis. I definitely feel like it did kind of spoil a lot of people. I'm gonna take my Jaclyn Hill palette. This is her Morphe palette collaboration, like one of her first ones. So this one right here, I'm gonna take this third shade and combine it with the fourth. Second point to that is that I felt like it created this need to outdo one another. Like if you're going to this nice vacation, like my vacation needs to be nicer kind of situation. The amount of shots and bikini photos that I saw, like I'm saying, it was like so dreamy to the sense where you kind of were escaping or also on vacation through Instagram with some people, which is I guess kind of cool at the same time. One of the things that I feel was a positive out of that was wanting to take better care of your body so that you could post bikini shots in Instagram or just kind of beautiful water beach style sipping a coconut drink under an umbrella by the beach or something very beautiful or aesthetic. So I guess that is a plus of all of this stuff, or Instagram in itself too, because it kind of pushes you to either be a better version of yourself, but at the same time being mindful that we're not all the same and what works for one doesn't work for the other. Also, I mean, I am using the Jaclyn Hill palettes. How do you feel about like makeup collaborations with YouTubers? Like, do you tend to buy them? Do you support any? Do you have any favorite collabs that have happened during the years? I remember Nicole Guerrero, she did a highlighter palette. I'm forgetting what the brand. I actually did own that palette. It was like in a pink kind of casing. Very pretty. I guess kind of going with my cereal box makeup bag right now. Like, what are some of your favorite collaborations that are like makeup theme, and do you follow them? For example, Pat McGrath. I think she had like a Taylor Swift inspired collection or something along those lines. But did she know that Taylor Swift on her Bejeweled video, she has Pat McGrath as a starring guest there? I had zero idea up until I obviously Instagram a lot of the Eras tours. Some of these music videos I had never seen before. I obviously know a good chunk of her music now that I think about it. That was so cool to kind of see Pat McGrath in her visual video. So that is awesome. If you do like that song, check it out. You'll see Pat McGrath there. I'm gonna take this a fifth shade and just with my fingers, a very light peachy kind of color, and I'm gonna pat it in my inner lip. Do you feel like Disney is sponsoring Instagrammers? The amount of people that go to Disney and post it on Instagram, or even also they go multiple times, which I've only been one time and it is a tons of fun. I wish that I could go more often. I feel like if I had kids, I would probably be able to go more often, but as an adult, you have to beat the crowds, and is that you're seeing, are you patient enough for things like that? That's another factor. And then too, like just with work, I can't really just take so many trips over to Disney, although I would love to go to Disneyland, and I might do that maybe next year. I would also love to visit other theme parks in other countries, like they have one in Paris. I don't know if it's a Disney World, I don't think so. I don't know what it's called, but they do have one there. Also to Nintendo. So Nintendo has a park in Japan. I want to go there. And then also they just opened one in California, which I haven't been. I feel like it would be so much fun just to go out there and experience that. So I am taking this other shade here, this one. I used to play Nintendo 64 as a kid. I loved it, and so during the pandemic, one console that was very popular was the Switch, and particularly because you can use it with Animal Crossings. I actually don't have Animal Crossings, but because of the pandemic, I did get a Nintendo Switch, and I actually don't get to use it as much as I would like to. I do like to use it because it kind of distresses me from the everyday and from scrolling on Instagram. At the same time, it's like I am not 10 or however old I was whenever I was playing anymore. So some of these games are kind of like easy, but yeah, it's so much fun to kind of reminisce, and I would love to go to the Nintendo park at some point in time. If you have visited, let me know what you think. If you have any recommendations or tips from just your experience of going, I would love to know. Quite honestly, whenever it comes to eyeshadow, I like to use a lot of foil or shimmers. Most of the time, just apply it with my finger. As you can see, I'm just patting it down. So I'm going to take a blender brush and then just kind of go over the two colors and blend them together. If you did get Animal Crossing and if you are genuinely enjoying it, let me know. If you did get it and you did not like it, too, let me know. I don't know that I am into it, but it does seem kind of fun at the same time. A lot of people did have it. It was very big during the pandemic years. I don't know if it still is or not, but if you do have it and you enjoy it, please do let me know. I'm going to take my Mercury Retrograde by Huda Beauty, and I'm going to take this color right here. This is called Off Balance, and I'm just gonna put that in my edge. Let's talk about luxury, particularly Louis Vuitton. So what is up with Louis Vuitton and their price increase? Meaning they have not done one so far, and usually they always do one in February. Full transparency, I did sit down and do a video on that around February, at the beginning of February, but I never published because I never did a price increase. On that same note, I feel like in that particular video, I mentioned some points and that do appear to be accurate. I might just insert some footage here just so you kind of see what I was talking about, and then let me know what it is you think about it. That the CEO of LVMH, Bernard Arnault, is actually the richest man in the world. So this could be for us or against us. I'm saying for us in a sense where it's like, hey, I'm already the richest man. I already do have all that publicity. I've met and exceeded so many financial goals. Literally, the world has so many people and he is the richest out of the entire planet. That is crazy, and I think that that might come into our favor in the sense that price increases might slow down. We might not see them as much, or the increments going forward are not going to be as impactful. I mean, so do you think it's that, or do you think that LV is like done just trying to be predictable? They want to be on their schedule and not on the general public schedule of, like I said, every February they had a price increase. So now they're probably just like, whoa, let's stop. We need a major reset. We need to be in control and not the public. Like, do you think it's like around those lines? I mean, whatever it is, if you had something in your wish list and you had just been wanting to get, I love the fact that you can still get whatever it is that you want at the price that it was last year. So I hope that it stays around a little bit longer. I hope they go back to just doing one price increase a year. I would very much appreciate that from a fellow LV lover and consumer. I'm going to take this cosmic color right here in my new brush by Hourglass. This is brush number 11, the smudge brush. So I'm going to grab some of that and put it in the bottom inner corner. So do you kind of respect Louis Vuitton a little bit more because they are slowing down in the price increases, or at least what we can judge so far in 2023 that appears to be the case? In some aspect, I feel like they're just kind of taking a step back, watching the market and seeing what it does, especially because, you know, a recession was a lingering topic for such a long time. And of course, if we are all broke and not buying, then they too in turn do not make money. Or do you think that they're just kind of like, well, they're seeing what's happening with Chanel in the sense that a lot of people are just put off by how astronomical the prices over there are? I personally have nothing, well, I do have some Chanel, but like cosmetics, that is nothing compared to an actual leather good. And maybe they are trying to be very cautious about how they do implement their price increase strategies, or how it is that they do utilize that price increase strategy in making sure it's still favorable rather than putting off people, right? If you don't know, one of the things that's happening with Chanel is it's hard to justify the price tag for the quality. Again, I don't have anything. I personally do want to buy something from Chanel directly from the store. So hopefully that's something that I can accomplish later on this year. I am actually very excited for that. I'm trying not to let so much of all these Chanel reviews get to me in that aspect, because I too would like to have a genuine experience directly from the store, apart from, you know, the high prices and that they do have, right? I was saying about the whole respect thing because some years back, Louis Vuitton in particular had cut down the commission on the canvas style items, but recently I heard that they actually brought back like a higher percentage of commission on canvas for the CAs, which is so amazing because personally that's one of the things I buy the most, the canvas style products. Not so much because I'm cheap or because of the price point, just because I feel like they are very hardy and long wearing. If there was canvas on an actual luggage which is meant to be kicked around, thrown around, and it's just damaged during travel, period, why wouldn't I want something so long lasting like that? Incredible style of material that is meant to be long lasting. Of course not. I like it, and that's why I have a lot of canvas pieces in my personal collection. Going back to the Jaclyn Hill palettes, I'm gonna take this purple color right here, also on my smudger brush. On the topic of being first to market, what kind of consumer are you? Are you one of those that, oh my god, I need to be the first, I need to be seen with it before the masses does? Or are you someone who is more of a chill, I'm gonna see how it plays out, see and hear the reviews, and then make a decision? Which consumer are you? Personally, I am more of the laid back, let's see how it plays out kind of person, and quite honestly, I feel like I jump on the bandwagon way too late. Like I am running after that wagon to jump in it. That's how late I am on some things. Quite honestly, a great factor behind that is just for the actual realization that I am not rich. That I do have to work for my money. That's the kind of consumer that I am. I am very much, I think I've talked about this before, to where I am a Virgo. I just like to study things and probably study them a little bit way too long, more than I need to, but that is just who I am as a person. I want to make a very informed or educated purchase right before doing an actual purchase, which at the same time I feel like it's a downside because I sometimes go into these stores knowing way too much about the product to where it's like, well, like this can happen and that can happen, and then I just don't end up getting it. So that also happens too. So it's like a double whammy, I guess you can say. Taking my Tarte double ending spoolie and liner brush, I'm gonna take this ultraviolet color right here, this third one, from my Huda Mercury Retrograde palette. So I don't have like a Max Fix Plus, but that would totally come in handy at this moment. This shade has glitter and it's like everywhere. Going back to Instagram really quick, and then I promise I'll get off the whole Instagram thing. Who are some of your favorites to follow on there, and what kind of pages do you like? Like, are you a more lifestyle, or are you a very much following a lot of like handbags, or more of a fashion, or shoes, or travel? Like, what is your favorite category of pages on Instagram to follow? On that same note, I have been asked before for my Instagram handle and whatnot, and I have shared it in some videos. It's not like very out there, and I don't put it on every single video, and mainly because I am more personal there, in the sense to where, not that I'm saying that I'm fake here, by no means. Actually, you get to see me as an actual person here compared to over there, but in a sense to where my page is not as curated or as pretty or perfect. It's not tailored to handbags, it's not tailored to beauty, it's just me as a person over there. And so I feel like if you're on YouTube watching me for talking about makeup or talking about handbags or whatever it is, or for whatever reason it is that you come here to watch me, you're not really gonna get that same aspect over there, if that makes any sense. Which I feel like it doesn't. It's not a curated page by no means. I actually don't post as much. I'm more of a person who gets on Instagram to see other people's stories, not so much like their feed. So that's the kind of Instagram user that I am. If you would be interested in having me start a page just on handbags or just on makeup, or a combination of both, let me know what it is that you think on that, and I will see if I can do one. I don't know that there is like a good amount of people that would want me to do something like that, but if there is, I would certainly do something like that. But yeah, right now on YouTube is where I mostly post or talk about handbags, reviews, unboxings, and makeup or fashion. Not like high fashion, or also too not trendy fashion, because like I said, I am more casual. That's pretty much who I am here versus who I am on Instagram. So if I don't put my Instagram on every single video, it's just that I know that what you come to me on YouTube for is not what you would go to me on Instagram for. Like, there's so many more beautiful pages on handbags or makeup that I think you would be better off following if that's what kind of style of pages you like to see. Kind of like in the same sense of, don't want to send you over there to follow my profile and then kind of be disappointed by the content over there. So I don't know. I know it's just very personal, and if you do decide to follow me, it's just because you genuinely like me as a person, but just kind of beware. I don't really post too much on Instagram. If anything, I probably put things in my stories rather than create a post or do a reel. That is the story behind me in Instagram. Oh, also too, I didn't say, this is the bronzer by Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the Sunbathe bronzer in the shade Vitamin D. So So where I do my makeup every day is in my actual master restroom, where I do have this huge mirror. But if you guys would be interested in me doing more chit chat style get ready with me, I will definitely take note of that and probably invest in an actual vanity mirror to have in my office. Also too, like, you as a person, are you more into beauty or more into actual handbags? I know that just by my analytics themselves, more people come to me for actual handbag reviews and luxury unboxings compared to makeup, but you know, it's still a part of who I am as a person. I do like both, so I guess I just need to find a better way to incorporate both in a more seamless way to where both are still very equally desired content from me. Let me know, what are your thoughts on anything and everything that I have mentioned here today? I feel like it was a lot of like financial topic, which by no means am I trying to give you financial advice. Like, I am well aware that you do not need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on handbags. I've said it before, literally any handbag can do the same thing that any luxury handbag does. I'm very well aware of that. I like luxury handbags and I would love to have a beautiful collection of them. Maybe I would say probably about 35-ish would be like a happy number, and that is just like a variety of styles too, from clutches to backpacks to crossbodies, shoulder bags, top handles, and a variety of different brands too. I do notice, like, whenever you start following people that are barely talking about luxury handbags, one of the things that I do notice is that people start off with Louis Vuitton and then kind of advance to Chanel and then Hermes, and then just kind of don't ever come to Louis Vuitton ever. Like I said, I do think that the canvas range is so hardy and long wearing that I do feel and believe that I would be a forever Louis Vuitton customer. And then just comparing the pricing, it's more affordable. I know it is expensive. I do still know this, but it is cheaper to buy a Louis Vuitton bag than it is a Chanel and Hermes. Besides the game that you play with Hermes, personally at my Hermes store, I walked in and my husband asked for a Birkin. I was too shy that as soon as he literally said, "Hey, so what's up with the Birkin?" I literally said, "Oh my God." And the lady, she knew, like, she picked up on it that I didn't want him to ask that. I guess because I listened to YouTube and about this whole Hermes journey and the game, and you have to start from the very bottom and climb your way up to a Birkin. But the way that she did say, "No, we don't have any in stock," she kept saying that. I was like, okay, well, what about like a raspberry poppy kind of red pink sort of color? And she's like, "No, we do have the E2." She kept saying that. She was like, "If you want any of the neutrals, that's something we can get you." Which, quite honestly, if I was to get a Birkin, I think it would be a black. Or I do kind of feel like I would like to have a pop of color, just because it's like, hey, look at me. And then it being an expensive bag, like, why not? Definitely do not have anything against the gray. I would love a gray with rose gold hardware, or even the palladium, or actually it even looks good with a gold. So any hardware, to be honest. I guess I was just so put back by the fact that there is a journey or a way to get to a Birkin. You can't just walk in there, to where it almost seemed a little bit too real. I mean, too fairy tale-ish for her to say, "Yeah, we can get you on a list for one. We don't have one in the store at the moment." But she made it sound like they do have them, but she has to put me on a wait list to where she can be calling me next week. It was that kind of feeling, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Do I want to get a Birkin before I ever get a Chanel bag? I mean, I'm not against that. I very much so love top handles for sure, but I don't know, it's a little bit scary because it's like, nobody gets the Birkins. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. At least that is what we hear from YouTube, from social media. So it might not be the case, actually, now that I think about it. So how do you feel about the Birkin, like the bag itself, not the journey, not Hermes, but the handbag itself? Would you ever want one in your collection? Do you have one in your collection? What is the ideal combination according to your wish list, or that you would want to have at some point in time? Or if you do have many, like, what is that next combo that you want in your collection? I definitely see myself owning a Birkin, and just for the fact that I know that it's way way more expensive than Chanel. Like, it's always been like that. For some reason, I feel like I would go in and get a Birkin like in a heartbeat compared to Chanel, to where I know that once upon a time it used to be $7,000 or even $5,000. I think at some point in time a Chanel large jumbo, the classic flap, was maybe like 5,200, 5,800 or something along those lines, to whereas now I think it's $11,000. Still catches my interest, but still I'm such a top handle lover to where a Birkin is just like, it suits me, you know what I mean? I think with Chanel, because I know that price increase ladder that some of these handbags have had and how transparent those numbers are within YouTube compared to Birkins. Like, when people unbox Birkins, they do not tell you the price, and I get it, you don't have to disclose stuff like that. I tend to just either show the receipt or say what it is. Obviously I haven't unboxed a Birkin or I haven't purchased a Birkin, period, but if I would, I think I would be transparent enough to share that information. I mean, just in case if you're interested. For example, on YouTube, if you are sharing an unboxing of it and people come and watch you for your unboxing, it's probably because they're interested in the handbag itself, and that's a crucial piece of information, especially because you can't just go out to a website and search it up and get the price range, you know what I mean? On another note, I was recently tagged on a tag video here on YouTube, which I actually did not even know that I was tagged. I didn't know until I actually looked at this particular YouTuber's video and I saw who she tagged and I saw my name. I'm like, wait, like me? Like me? So I clicked on it and it was me. I was like, oh my god, like this is so cool, it's so awesome, especially because the YouTuber is LVLoverCC. I have not done the video to kind of respond to the actual tag, but it's so cool. It's almost like starstruck moments. Like, I don't know, I kind of feel cheesy just saying it, but it's kind of cool because I watched her for so many years, and for her to tag me out of so many luxury YouTubers who, one, have way more bigger collections than me, and two, who have bigger following than me, like, it's just kind of cool that I was chosen. So that is awesome, and thank you. Like, that is such a great, like, it's like an honor. Definitely need to work on that video. If I do put it before this one or whatnot, I will link it down below, or even after I put it on, I'll be mindful to come back to this one and put the reference in case you do want to watch that. But that is awesome. It was a tag video that was started off by Isabel from Isabel Styles, so I will be doing my version soon. Just have my Morphe micro pencil in Mocha. I love this pencil actually. I used to buy the MAC micro pencil a lot until I discovered this one. I don't really buy that MAC one anymore. Let me do the other brow and I'll be back. Did my eyebrows, which honestly, one of them is always better than the other one. Not perfect. Taking my lip cheat in Pillow Talk. This is by Charlotte Tilbury. I'm gonna line my lips. You know, one year I went to London and I went to the Charlotte Tilbury makeup store. It's so pretty in there. It's literally like a cabaret dressing room style of vibes. Very glam, very beautiful. I purchased a lipstick called the Duchess, and now thinking about it, I should have bought the one that is called the Queen. It was like a red tone color. I do have one. I don't know if that's the exact name of it, but it would have just been so awesome if I would have gotten that particular lipstick at the Charlotte Tilbury store in London, in the UK. Like, how iconic and perfect. But I got the Duchess. And this too, very beautiful color, and it's actually one of my favorite to date that I do use quite often. So very happy that I did pick that one. But again, the Queen would have been awesome. So taking my Tom Ford mini, this is in the color Addison, number 18. This is like a pink color. And this mini is actually very forgiving. Such a good purchase to go with the mini versus the full size. And then the full size lipsticks of these, I don't know the exact price range, but I know they're expensive. I don't know if I want to use my Dior, the lip maximizer in the color number 13, or if I want to go with the Buxom Dolly. I think Dolly. How beautiful is Dolly by Buxom? And then two, it's almost the same. It's just one's literally like more nudie compared to the other one. But that is the makeup look. I do have one more unboxing that I will do. Yeah, let's do one more curl of the lashes. I was gonna do highlighter, but I don't know if I want Gonna come back with the brush that I did that purple line at the top, just because I had some mascara on my upper lash line on this eye. To be honest, I really love this Lancome Sales Booster with Lash Idol. It's a very great combination, and as you saw, does lift your lashes, or it does provide like a pretty curl. This post-workout a dry mist, if you can see, the product settled at the bottom and now all the water, so that's an interesting formula or combination right there. My last unboxing, it was actually a deal that I got from GMA Deals, or the Good Morning America deals. I have never purchased from them before. I have purchased from this particular brand so many times before. I actually have quite the collection. It's almost kind of embarrassing to say. I have a lot of goodies in here. I got everything from the brand Deborah Lippmann. I did use the stripper today to take off my nail polish at the beginning of the video. This is also by Deborah Lippmann. I had gotten this over a Nordstrom anniversary sale actually. This one in the refillable larger bottle, which I still have a lot of, and I really love that. And actually this one is quite neat because you just put it on the cotton pad or cotton ball like I used today and just literally leave it on the nail. You don't have to rub or anything like that, and the nail color will come off. I feel like it's less abrasive for your actual nail bed, so that is awesome. I saw that actually from the Macy's 15% off beauty event. I wanted to get some things from there, and then two, there was another website that had Deborah Lippmann for sale. It was probably Saks or I don't really remember, but anyways, I went into Instagram. Yes, and I went into Deborah Lippmann's page, and only because I wanted to know what the colors for one of her newest collection was going to look like. And in her stories, she posted that brand was featured on the GMA as some of the deals. So I was like, oh my god, how perfect is this? So I literally got everything for like 50% off. I've never gotten Deborah Lippmann this price, and I love a lot of her stuff. And like I said, I'm gonna actually insert a picture here, but I have a large nail lacquer collection from Deborah Lippmann, and the only reason why I said that it's almost embarrassing to say is because look at my nails, I don't have any color, and then two, because I have a lot, I don't really do my nails too much, but even whenever I do go to the actual nail salon, I will take my polish with me, and it's always a Deborah Lippmann. They always say, okay, pick your color, and I'm like, oh no, it's okay, I have my own. And there's one in particular, I'm gonna put the name of it here, that they love putting it on, or every time I do put it on at the actual nail salon, they will compliment it so much. So I love her polishes. I feel like I got some repetitive colors, but literally I actually came across this deal in like the last 10 minutes of the deal being open, so I was in a rush just adding random things to my cart, and I feel like I replicated on some of the colors, but I am going to show you everything obviously once I actually shut up. This is the reason why I went to Deborah Lippmann's page, because I wanted to see what her new summer colors look like, and I actually don't even know the name. I thought they were going to come in individuals, but they did not. So I got the Addicted to Speed top coat. This I do remember getting in my order. Like, I love this. I have one already that I am almost out of. It's such a great one that does dry your nails super quick. And then I've never tried this one. They did have it in the full size as part of the deal, but I only got the mini just because I've never tried it, so I don't know how great of a set it is. This is the Gel Lab Pro Duo. Basically, it is the base coat and the top coat. I have the Hard Rock top coat and the All About That base coat. So I wanted to see how it is at this Gel Lab Pro set compared to that one. I think it's just going to deliver like a little bit of a higher shine, but in case I'm not that happy, I'm glad that I did get the full size of the Addicted to Speed top coats. And if I do end up loving this one, hopefully they do have it for the Nordstrom anniversary sale later on, or if she does provide a coupon code for like, I don't know, 4th of July or something, I would definitely get one. I kind of figured out why I have a little box. I felt like I got like a lot of individuals, but I think I got the box just so that they won't break. But I got the Fade to Black. This is just a black nail lacquer. I don't have a black in my collection for whatever reason. I feel like blacks are a little bit too harsh to wear. They're too intimidating, but I needed a black, so I got the Fade to Black by Deborah Lippmann. One quote, two quotes. then I got the Never Worn White Lacquer, and this one is so pretty. I actually have another one that kind of looks like it in the bottle, but this one has such a beautiful sheen going through it. I know I'm gonna love this one. If you do know about Deborah Lippmann, most of her nail polishes are named after songs, but anyways, this is Never Worn White. 1, 2 coats. This one is called Nothing Compares to You, and looking at this bottle, it's like looking at the galaxy. This is so beautiful. I can already tell it's gonna be one of my favorites. It has a lot of a gold and pink rose gold action going on with a little bit of blue. It's so fun just looking at it. Again, this is called Nothing Compares to You. 2 coats, 1 coat. That was everything that was in the little box, and I do have a few more to show you. Another one that I got is called Only You. This one is a very fun one. It's so beautiful. It almost is like a pearlescent style of color in like a rose gold sort of tone. So very fun, and I don't have anything like this already in my collection. 1, 2 coats. Up next is called She's a Rocket, and this one looks just like one that I already have. The one that I already have is called Message in a Bottle. Again, probably the Taylor Swift song. This one is so pretty. It has like silver, or actually maybe like gold shimmer going through it. These 2 is 1 coat, and these 2 is 2 coats. So top 2, 2, and then the bottom 2, 1. So beautiful. So again, she's a rocket. Lastly, the summer set. This is the whole reason why I was even on the Instagram page. This is the summer set Genius of Love 4-piece. So some of these kind of look like they could be in the same collection too. So this one's like gold glitter, and then the other one's like silver glitter. Not too much different, but still very beautiful. Anyways, so we have Love Sensation, which is like a pink cream with bluish, purplish kind of glitter. All right, this is a Love Sensation, and it actually reminds me a lot of Delicate, also by Deborah Lippmann. Such a beautiful pink. Love Sensation, 2 coats. Then we have From Here to Eternity. This is with, I don't know if it's silver or like a blue kind of glitter. This one is From Here to Eternity, and this one was actually very opaque. So this finger is 2 coats, and then these 3 is just 1 coat. So From Here to Eternity. Very beautiful. So 2 coats, and then all of these are 1 coat. Genius of Love. This one's so pretty. I feel like this is like a jelly coral with glitter. This is Genius of Love. This one actually does look like a genie in a bottle, but it's called Rock the Boat. It is a blue cream with some fine purple shimmer going through. This is Rock the Boat. Such a pretty color, and don't judge my nail application, just kind of briefly showing you the color here. So 2 coats here. Very beautiful. I think it's gonna be a new favorite color. So I got 9 full-size nail polishes from Deborah Lippmann, which her brand is actually free of some toxic chemicals, and I think it used to be 7 free, but looking at the box now it says 10 free. It doesn't list all the actual bad ingredients that it is excluding, but it does have some biotin, keratin, rice protein, evening primrose, green tea extracts, a cumea, something like that for the health aspect in their formula. For the shine, they have nylon and carnauba wax, and then for the wear they have bamboo and non-nicosin F, something like that. I'm gonna put that down here, but anyways, I love her nail polishes just because they are very healthy, and her little boxes do actually say the healthy alternative to gel polish. So Sephora used to carry Deborah Lippmann in store, and they stopped for some reason. If they did, I would probably have a massive Deborah Lippmann collection, but I do have way more. If you are interested to see my entire collection or what those colors look like, I can do separate videos on the swatches. Just let me know down below. I hope you like the makeup look, all of the random topics, which by the way, let me know any of your thoughts on anything that I covered today, and also too on the nail lacquers, like which one was your favorite. I think this was such an amazing steal and deal as well. I am actually gonna head out to dinner now, but I want to thank you so very much for spending a little bit of your day, night, whatever, morning with me. I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.